The other thing as well is be aware that if the person you care for uses other services, that it's your responsibility to make arrangements for them to use the other services while they're in respite. And often we've been asked that those services continue because they don't always have the staff around in the daytime to look after people. So what they have their cover again from 4 o'clock while 10. From 4 o'clock in the evening while 10 o'clock in the next morning is when they have their cover on. In the daytime they have 1 or 2 members of staff around, which is why they ask you to use more nights, and they'll use that funding to pull in staff to look after that person in the day. Katie attends lots of social activities in the week, so she goes to Mencap, which is in Wingfield. Her original respite was in Wingfield, but I'm not sure how this deems as respite. I used to finish work in the centre of Rotherham, drive to the respite place, collect Katie, who was in respite, and take her to Mencap. When she'd had her session at Mencap, I would drive back to Mencap and pick her up to take her back to respite. And often the next morning I would go and pick her up and take her to college, if she's in college that day. Which is why it's easy for us if it's in holiday time, because I don't have to do any of that, she just stays in respite. We use community transport a lot, but again, you have to remember, if they're going to be in respite and you want them to continue with social activities that they do normally, it's your responsibility to sort out community transport, to pick her up and take her to college and do all of that. And often you're so wrapped up in whatever you're doing, you can forget, actually you're going to have to put those links in place now because she's going into respite, because she still wants to attend Mencap on Monday evening, but you need to set that up. Some of the other sort of pitfalls to respite that we learnt the real hard way is that respite are mixed houses. So Katie, as an 18-year-old, was accessing respite with men that could be of any age range up to in the 70s, with varying different disabilities. So from our point of view, one of the things we were really concerned about is who else is using respite at the same time, with all the staff being CRB checked, who would be looking after her, should be getting showered there, how do we know? She doesn't lock doors because she can't unlock them, she gets stuck. So how do you know that somebody's not going to walk in on when she's having a shower and all of that? And it is really difficult for us to think about that we're handing over our daughter that we've looked after and kept safe to another group of people who, they're paid to do a service, and you have to have some understanding that, not all eventualities can be covered, and that sometimes things can go wrong and do go wrong. And it's just to be aware of that. It's something we've really not thought about,